What's happening, gang? You are back live. This is The Secret Stash. I'm your host, Jesse Ibanez. I got you locked down every Tuesday, mid-mornings from 10 to noon on ESPN Radio, 1700 AM. And promise to track down some of the coolest local people, doing some of the most important local stuff around town, leaving us a little better than how they found us. Flanked in the studio today, I got my man Joe Stumpf. He is the owner and founder of BuyReferralOnly.com. For the last 30 years, he's been holding it down in all things real estate and small business here locally and nationally, actually, as well, up in Canada. Godfather of this space. And one of the things that is most remarkable about Joe, at least I'd say more recently anyway, is he's taken all of this intellectual capital that he's amassed over the last 3 decades, and he's been systematically putting them down into these little modules, whereby the basically book titles, manifestations, little book titles, and we got a couple of them right now in the studio today. You talked last segment about actually becoming referable, which is kind of more of like a core competence kind of thing, like the space you actually occupy. And then you got another one, which is the 37 exact ways to ask. Now, I told you I was going to put you in the hot seat before the break. So just go ahead and flip to any one of those pages right now. And let's see what we come up with.
Okay, here we go. Taking the dive. So the book is divided into 3 sections, the mindsets, the amplifiers, and then the exact ways to ask. And we flipped over here to exact way to ask number 2.
Number 2?
Yeah.
Okay,
and
number 2.
Number 2.
Which is, go ahead.
Use your voicemail message to plant a referral seed.
Okay, good.
I love this.
Use a voicemail message to plant a referral seed. Okay?
Yeah, so right now, everybody who's probably listening has a voicemail message for their business. And if it's a typical voicemail message, it's... Hey, this is Joe, and thanks for calling. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So it's silent tone. Leave your name and number. Call you back. Bye.
Yeah.
You know.
Which, by the way, is hilarious because do we still need coaching on how the system works after voicemail has been around for 25 years?
That's really great.
You know?
Yeah.
So here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a beep, and then there's going to be some silence. That's when you talk.
Yeah, that's right.
You're probably going to want to leave your name,
Yeah. And so the method, the thinking behind what I'm about to say is that being fully congruent, you tell the truth no matter what, and the thing that we say is I'll get back to you as soon as possible. As soon as possible to you is very different than as soon as possible to me. So there's a misconnection right there, and many times I've left a voicemail message and literally thinking, okay, he's going to get back to me as soon as possible. So that could mean now I'm just going to wait for that call. If you call up if you call a dentist or a chiropractor or even a restaurant to make reservations, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. There is a feeling of, oh, okay, we'll just wait for that. Versus like clarity, remove all ambiguity, be precise with your language.
Okay.
A good voicemail message for a real estate agent. Hi, this is Joe. It's Tuesday, and from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock, I'll be with Jesse Ibanez at his radio show on ESP 1700. Love you to dial in. Then I'll be listening to my voicemail messages right after the show is over, and then I'll be returning calls until 3 o'clock. So go ahead, leave me a clear message what I can do for you, but know that I'll get back to you sometime between 1 and 3. And if you were referred to me or introduced me by a friend or a family member, please tell me the name of the person who introduced me so I can thank them appropriately. Have a great day. Beep. Nice voicemail message. There's no ambiguity. I'm telling people what I'm doing. I'm planting a little referral seed by making a suggestion that most people are referred to me. You probably were too, so just tell me that name. I get to use that word referral a little bit in there. And you've been using that, Jess. I called you this morning, and there it is. I'm just mimicking your voice. And what Jesse does is called real-time voicemail message. Every time he picks up his voicemail messages, he leaves a new voicemail message. So he stays in real time with people. I can tell you there are some people who probably had the same voicemail message for the last 15 years, and it hasn't changed. And so anybody who calls them kind of has that same experience over and over again, as opposed to, hey, I wonder what Jesse's is up to today.
And what my experience is, first of all, I think you can agree, Joe, you've been coaching this for 30 years. And if you're listening right now, the first thing you should probably be saying to yourself is, I can't do that.
Yeah.
There's that little voice, inside. Oh, well, let's stay exactly where we are. We're happy with someone's going to make fun of me.
Yeah.
And I'll admit I had that resistance when I got suggested that in the very beginning. But here was my breakthrough. And it didn't happen right away. It happened a little bit later in my experience in doing this. It was incredibly uncomfortable at first. But it goes back to the point you made during the last hour, which is the uncomfort is what we're trying to get rid of. Mm-hmm. That's not me. Well, good. That's the part we're trying to modify, in 2.0 is that part of you that can't do that. And then my big breakthrough happened when I realized that I just hired my first assistant.
Right.
And, hey, voicemail's free. I'm paying for that cell phone bill already. My voicemail is free because when I'm letting people know in real time what's going on with me, it allows them to feel comfortable so that they don't have to have that anxiety of continuing to call again and call again and call, hoping that they're going to hit the I got 'em lottery. They just leave their message, and then they know they're going to get called back at that point in time. And then the concept, of course, is you got to follow through.
Right. Well, if you make the message something that is interesting, I'll listen. And the people who are not going to listen, they're not interested, that's okay. That's not your audience anyway. Okay, my mom didn't like the message. Okay, my sister didn't like it. I can live with that. I was listening to Michelle's message the other day. I'd called her, and it was so great.
Michelle's a friend of yours?
Yeah, Michelle Edgington up in...
okay.
And it was so great. It was like,
this is one of the real estate agents you coach.
One of our members of our inner circle, very, very successful agent, helps 50, 60 families every year, but more importantly does that probably in about 30 hours a week, takes plenty of time off, has a great life, physically in great shape, spiritually very connected, great grandmother. Has all the elements of a referral-based business. I call her office, and her voicemail picks up and says, hey, this is Michelle. Let me just give you a rundown of what my schedule looks like between now and about 11:30 when I'll be back in the office. And it was so great because I'm working with a young couple. They're buying their first home right now. Limited inventory of first-time homes in our neighborhood. So if you've got a friend or a family member who lives in the Woodland area is going to put their home on the market, my clients might be really interested in it. So I'll be working with them, showing them the limited number of homes that are available right until about 11:30, and then I'll be returning phone calls. So it's the sound of the tone. Leave your name and your number. And, of course, if you were referred to me, tell me who referred you so I can thank them immediately. Have a great day. And that message accomplishes so many wonderful little things that I don't even have to outline with you. But that's real time. This is what's really happening, and she's speaking to whoever. Now, Michelle might have 12 people listen to that. Who knows who she's going to encounter that's going to listen to that message up, and who knows where it's going to lead. But if we don't speak to it, we know one thing for certain: nothing's going to happen. Yeah.
So would you say that the average voicemail is not real-timed? It's maybe updated, like you said earlier, once every decade or so often, right? So if you could extrapolate the components of, if someone's listening and they're inspired, they're hearing this, they're like, okay, we're doing this right now. Okay. So maybe what are like 2 or 3 of the components that real-time voicemail has to have?
Component number 1 is it has to be brief. Keep it brief. Meaning under a minute, minute 10 longest. Tell the truth, of course. Tell exactly what's going on, the truth. But I think the most important one is using the referral seed by just saying, if you were referred to me by a friend or one of my family members or one of my happy clients, please tell me who they were so I can thank them immediately.
Yeah.
Just that little suggestion to the listener leaves the impression that most people are referred to you. Yeah.
So in telling the truth, that takes some boldness too, because, a lot of people like to overinflate their level of importance, their level of self-importance. So that could be like, hey, Joe here. Truth is, I'm probably just going to be sitting around in my office until about 2, because I don't really have any clients right now to help. I'll be looking at email incessantly, looking to see if anything I can do today. Yeah. But at the end, if you want to hopefully you've got something more entertaining to be able to portray than that. But still, though, the point of telling the truth is a critical component because
it's congruent, you're exactly in alignment, and I do think that, if you are going to be sitting there returning emails and the phone rings, you're going to be picking it up anyway. So it's not going to be going to voicemail. So I think you got that thing handled.
Yeah, good. Okay, anything else about that?
No, I mean, that's a simple, like people say, okay, what is the simple thing that I could do right now to become more referable? Yeah. Well, get your, like what you said, get your assistant, your voicemail assistant in alignment with what you're saying. So that's one tiny little strategy there, exactly number 2 to ask. And if I was just to flip open to the next one, what I might say would be
hot seat right now. Hot seat.
This is interesting.
Don't filter it.
I love this thought. And this is a little more advanced. Is exact way number 15. You get a referral from those who are the easiest to get them from.
You get a referral from someone those are the easiest to get them from. Okay, so I think I know where that's going with that, but let's tease it out a little bit. So let's just say coming up.
Right.
Okay, we got to get people caught up on the whole ESPN, sports stuff. Got to know what moves are being made, and NBA, who hit one out of the park in baseball last night, all that good stuff. So coming right back up, Joe's going to tease it out a little bit for us, and he's going to share with us in the hot seat where the most likely referral is going to come from in your business.
Yeah, the easiest person to get a referral from.
The easiest person to get a referral. That's my man, Joe Stumpf, owner-founder of BuyReferralOnly.com. And this is The Secret Stash, Real Talk Radio. We'll be right back.